Welcome to the Logos Workbook for Dr. Wonglei Singh's Hermeneutics class. As you go through the Hermeneutics textbook, this workbook will provide information on how to harness Logos to put into practice the skills that the textbook refers to, as well as learning the basics of navigation in Logos. Each chapter of the workbook is associated with a video from our YouTube channel that you can watch to see the skills from the workbook in action. Before we get into Logos, I wanted to give you a quick introduction of who I am. My name is Matt Johnson, and I recently received my MDiv from Moody Theological Seminary. There I am. And as you saw before, I've also worked for Dr. Wonglei Singh the last 2 years as his faculty assistant. I'm currently doing work for Logos on their mobile ed videos. Now that you know a little bit about me, let's open up Logos. Before you open Logos, make sure you have the 2 Microsoft Word files that are on Blackboard, the Hermeneutics book introduction and the segmentation chapter 1. These are for the Hermeneutics book. At the end of this video, we'll talk about the workbook files. So I'm going to click on Logos. It'll take it a second. It's right now checking to see if I'm connected to the internet, and it's signing me in, and it's syncing up all the files I have and whatnot. And now we get to hear chimes. You'll get used to those chimes. When Logos is open, it's going to default to this home page. So on the home page, if you're in Faith Life, it'll give you notifications. You'll be in Faith Life later on this semester. You'll also see you're logged in, that's me, and you'll see any resources that are being updated. Faith Life has a number of, you'll see blogs, you'll see images with Bible verses. They usually put up one of those a day. And then there's also reading lists, there's commentaries, there's all sorts of things here. Some of it's just interesting, some of it is nice to see. There's always a free book every month. You'll also see things that you can pay for. And so I have this up for demonstration, but I actually never start with the home screen, and I want to start by showing you how to turn the home screen off. You don't have to turn the home screen off. I do it because I get distracted when I go to it. So the home screen, I'm going to start by clicking on this home icon. It's a little house. If you click on it, the home screen goes away. So if you do go to the home screen right when you log in, you can always just click on it to find the home screen. It's always very easy to find. So now I'm going to go to Tools. Underneath Tools, we're going to look at Utilities, and then we're going to do Program Settings. So here is kind of the preferences of Logos that are behind the scenes things. Most of what you see here are things that once you set up, you probably won't change. And we're just going to look at a couple of them because a lot of them, I can't think of many reasons you'd ever need to change unless you're working on things that are very specific. And so to start, we're going to look under General, at Startup, Open To, and then it says Home. And so at Startup, it's going to open to the home screen. But we want to change this to say Most Recent Layout Any. Or at least I do. Again, you don't have to do this one. I just want to show you this option. But when you click on this, what it means is when you work in Logos and then you close Logos, the next time you log in, it will load up the last thing you were working on. So I turn that on because then when I start up right away, it tells me, oh, here's where I was last time. I want to keep working on this. You also want to make sure you have citation style Turabian. While you're at Moody, all of the footnotes or referencing you do, the format that Moody asks for is Turabian. So if you don't have Turabian, make sure to switch that now. The one other thing I want to show you is under Internet. So Logos, when it's connected to the internet and when you have automatically download updates selected, it's going to always be updating whenever new things come out. And so when this happens, I think this is very useful. I leave it on. But when it happens, you just need to be aware when things are downloading that it will make Logos index again. And so if you're working on something and Logos has an update come out, it will download the update and then start indexing. And so when it starts indexing, that can mess with how fast your machine goes. It can also affect if you're doing something in a resource that you just updated, it can mess with that. So like if you're in an ESV Bible and the ESV Bible gets upgraded, and so you're working on it while it's indexing, your searches may not be accurate. And so this rarely happens, but it's just something to remember if you're ever updating things and it's indexing and you're working in those resources, it could affect your findings. And once the indexing's done, you might say, what just happened? This may have happened to me. But so these are program settings that I think are useful. So I'm going to close this now, and we're going to look at how to actually put in the hermeneutics book and workbook. So I'm going to click on Home to get rid of that. And now I'm going to click on Tools, and then Personal Books. So the personal books, you can find out a lot more by clicking Start Here. Or if you just go onto Faithlife's website and search, or Logos website and search personal books, you can find a lot of information out. But for what we're doing, we're actually formatting it all for you, so you just need to add it in. And so this is week 1, so we're going to add a book. After this week, you won't add books, you'll just add chapters. But so I'm going to click on Add Book, and then we need to give the book a name, and we're calling it Hermeneutics Textbook Fall 2015. The author is Dr. Julius Wong Loy Singh. And then under Type, we want to change it to a manual. And then once we're there, we need to add the files. And so if you if you haven't downloaded these files, you'll need those right now. And so I'm going to start by adding a file. On mine, they're on desktop. I've got a folder made, and I'm going to add the hermeneutics. The first one we want to add is Hermeneutics Book Introduction. So I click Open. And then I'm going to click Build Book. So it'll load, it'll put everything in. We've got some warnings, but don't worry about those. Then I'm going to click Finish. And now if I look over here, the Hermeneutics Textbook Fall 2015 Introduction is in. But this week we also gave you another chapter, so we're going to load that quick, and then I'll show you a little bit about the book. And so each week when we give you a new chapter, you'll go back to Personal Books, you'll click on the book, and then you will do Add File. And then, so Segmentation, Chapter 1, I want to add that in, so I click on it, click Open, and then click Build Book, and it will load the new information, and it'll save your old information, and then click Finish. So you'll see now on a Mac, you'll see this guy pop up. On a Mac or PC, you'll see the one there. That's a very quick indexing. That's just, it happens right away. But so I'm going to make this side bigger. And now we have our hermeneutics textbook. So there's a little double arrow here that you can click, and you'll see little drop down arrows. This gives you more navigation. If you don't see that little arrow, it's the show locator bar. To get there, you click on the book icon, show locator bar. And that locator bar is in most resources in Logos, and it's real useful. But so now you've got the introduction with all of that information, and then you've got chapter 1. And so each week we'll add to this. Now in Blackboard, you also have the hermeneutics workbook files, and the video is going to stop here. We want you to put those in on your own, put them in an order. There's an introduction and then workbook chapter 1. And workbook chapter 1 will have a assignment related to pericope sets. You've just listened to the introduction, and it's pretty near word for word of what will be in the workbook introduction. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you later.